of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our viewers and listeners around the world. My name is Brother Nathan Vicente from the local congregation of Buena Park. I'm here today with my fellow co-host,
Sister Jaden Carlos from the local of Anaheim.
Yes, and so we have a very exciting broadcast today, all about tennis court conversation. So we have two very special guests with us this morning, if they want to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Sister Narissa, and I'm from the local of Anaheim.
Hi, I'm Sister Ian. I'm also from Anaheim.
So I think we can just get straight into it, right, Sister Jaden?
Yes.
I'm excited to learn more about tennis, something I don't know much about. Tennis, I don't know, or sport, I don't know much about. So if you wouldn't mind, if you want to lead us in a quick live demonstration. I know you brought your rackets.
We have our rackets.
That's what it's called, right? Rackets.
Yes.
Yes.
Tennis racket.
Tennis racket. There you go.
Or before we get into talking about our moves and stuff, how Sister Ia, could you give us a brief kind of introduction to what is tennis for those of us who don't know?
Tennis is basically you just play with a racket, hit back and forth, and just try to win a point. And it's just all about having your mental health being really good, because if you start getting worked up about losing, then you really aren't really playing your best.
So what I'm hearing is we need a lot of focus for this
Focus.
game.
Yeah.
All right. Confidence.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the brief explanation and introduction of tennis. Yeah.
All right.
So we can go ahead and get started
bust
with
those out.
our live demonstration. Yeah, and she mentioned something interesting, the mental part of sports, it's something not really talked about, but it is very important, like what Sister Ia said. So yeah, it looks like we have our guests, they brought their own tennis rackets. So if you want to go ahead and lead us in a few, warm-ups or...
Okay. So first, what my coach told me was to have a forehand grip. You would glide your hand across like this, and then you would just grip it. And then let's say the ball's over here, you would just go up and then do a little swing and then catch it across on your other shoulder.
Oh.
That's what you call a forehand. And then a slice is my favorite. I always do it. So I would do the same grip, but the ball, I would go under it and then hit it as hard as I can, and then it would cause it to spin back. So then I had a few hits where it was really near the net and it would just go over. So then I would just win the point automatically. And then same thing with a backhand, you would do the same, but with the other hand, you would go, left hand would go on top if you're right-handy. So then you would go under and then under, and then you go up over your other shoulder. And that's a backhand.
I see.
So what would you say is the hardest one to execute?
The slices.
The slice.
slices.
I mean, when you have that spin ball, it's really difficult to
Predict
yeah.
where it's going to go.
That's why it's my favorite.
It's also going to be difficult for the opponent to hit it because you don't know where it's going to land.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So you have it'll make you run to another direction or something.
I
So
see.
that's the beauty of it.
What
Does
about-
that mean it's the hardest to learn, that swing between
Yeah.
the three, the slice?
Yeah, the slices.
I see.
Oh, I see. What about Sister Narissa, my mom?
Yeah, we didn't mention it already. They're mother and daughter.
Which one do you use
So-
the most?
She learned all the technical aspects. I just learned by watching. So I mean, I really just mainly play for fun because my whole family, me growing up, we were all playing tennis. So, and I started playing pretty young, maybe 6, and then the racket was this big. They didn't buy me my a junior tennis racket, right? So I learned with 2 hands, and I'm left-handed. So when I hit with my for my forehand, I'm left-handed, so I'm going this way. But the racket was so heavy, so I had to do 2 hands. And usually when you also do backhand, it's also 2 hands.
Okay.
But me, because I have to do both hands for both sides, I just have to switch the position of my hands every time I hit. So now that I'm older, I was trying to relearn doing one hand with I just can't do it. So I guess it's muscle memory.
Right.
So I just always hit with forehand, 2 hands.
2 hands.
And then with backhand, 2 hands, which is not really common.
I see.
Common thing is your forehand is 1 hand.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Well, you
so-
get like more power out of that though if you have two hands.
True.
I
That's true.
think I know that the Anaheim tennis enthusiasts sometimes rent tennis courts to play. I know Sister Ia and Sister Narissa have both played together, if that's right.
Yeah.
How would you say you both do on the court? How well do you guys think you do on the
Well,
court?
You can totally tell who's the pro. She's always like really good, and I just play for fun. Just hitting the ball to the other side, I'm already happy with that. So,
Mhm.
but it's just really, it's good exercise. It's fun. It's a really good stress reliever for me. It's like just
Yeah.
hit that ball hard, and
It's satisfying, even
yeah.
just to watch, not to even. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a satisfying sport.
Have you seen
to-
those people in the crowds when they're watching a tennis game? They just go,
going back and forth. Yeah.
I did want to ask. I don't know, like for anyone else, but for me, at least just watching tennis, I feel like it is a bit on the simpler side, like just like on the surface level, like you're just hitting a ball across the net, but it's really not, right? Like there's like these little things that you mentioned that you have to keep in mind of, that you have to always, be aware of when you're playing. So like for the beginners out there, like if you had to give any tips, like, yeah, what would you say to like people starting to get into tennis?
I would definitely say focus on your technique and grips, because that would really set you up of how you actually play in the end.
Right.
Because like you probably will get, because as you like improve, you definitely need to change your grips and everything in order to win the point and everything.
what about the running aspect? Because I know we are focusing so much on our arms and moving but your legs are doing a lot of work too.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
running around on the court, especially if you're playing singles and not with a partner. You're covering that whole thing by yourself. So what are some tips about when you're running up to the ball, trying to figure out, gauge where you have to go?
Yeah. So do you guys know what like split step is?
Oh no, you can demonstrate that as well.
So basically, the split step is when like the ball starts to come towards you. You have to take like a little like hop, so then you can either go right or left in order to hit it. So you can prep earlier.
Like adjust to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Sister Ia was just mentioning earlier that one of the things that you really need are really good shoes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Because you're gonna be running around all over the place.
Mhm.
When you're here and then the ball is trying to land like far from you, you got to really run to it. And it's also about timing when you hit the ball, because when the timing when you hit the ball will affect the way the ball will hit on the other side. Either it's gonna go to the other side or stop at the net or go out like way beyond the line. So
Right.
And since there's so many technical aspects when it comes to tennis, what would you say is a common mistake that a beginner would make? Like something to avoid maybe when trying to learn how to play?
Probably getting the wrong racket, because there's different handle sizes for everyone,
Uh-huh.
and that like I think it's like a finger should fit between your hand, and if you get like too big of a handle, then I've seen people accidentally throw their rackets while serving, and if it's too small, I think it's just like it's like weird for them and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there were different sizes
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I thought it
handles
was
of
just
just one
racket.
side.
yeah,
Interesting.
because the size of your hand is different from everyone else's. So
that
that's
makes
why,
sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really does every little thing, and even like the tension on the strings that also affects like how you're gonna hit the ball. So because these have to change the how often do you change yours? Because I don't play
Like
on
every
a regular
6
basis
months.
every 6 months.
Oh,
So
okay.
Something like that.
So when that happens, you have to switch out the strings or get a new racket, or
You can switch out the strings.
also okay.
Yeah,
switch
but
out.
also like there's different weights on the rackets too.
Oh, there's
Oh,
weights.
true.
Jeez,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes,
wow.
there's more.
Because different handle sizes, different.
Do a whole
tension
segment on
the-
just
on
rackets.
the racket itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. Before we get move on, staying on the technical side of it, you mentioned these terms like, what is it, split step?
Yeah.
Split step. Are there any other like terms or like terminology that we can learn?
Yeah,
And
like
the
when
game
we're playing the
tennis?
game, I hear 30 love. Like, oh hi.
Oh,
I'm
that's the score.
like is the announcer calling me love now?
Yeah.
No, that's the score.
What does it mean though?
Love is 0.
Oh, okay.
Love is 0. So
Oh.
yeah. So there's what six up to 6
Yeah.
in one set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in order to gain one point out of the 6. First, the score is 15,
Mhm.
and then 30, and then 40. So when it's 15, 15, 30, 30, or 40, 40, like different,
The points.
The
How
points.
does the points work? I believe, don't you have to have an advantage in order to win?
That's only if you go into deuce.
Yeah. Deuce is like 40, 40.
Okay, yeah. Let's
Oh.
explain. Let's
Yeah.
explain this actually. Let's explain the game,
ahead,
the
go
actual
ahead,
point,
sister.
the point method as well.
So basically, you would just call out the score, your own score. So I would say 15 love, which is 15-0, and then you keep going. But let's say it's like 40-40, we would call that deuce, and then whoever wins that point, you would say add in, and then or add out, whoever's serving, and then after that, whoever wins the third round, then you would win the point, and then you would just move on to the next match.
You call out the first score of the one serving, right? Isn't it? Or-
It's whoever's serving
Whoever's-
calls out their own score.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
There we go. A lot
Kinda
of
like honor
communication.
system,
There
yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Nice. So before we go to our main discussion, I hope you don't mind. Is it okay if me and Sister Jaded we have a tryout on the racket?
Yeah.
Just to further our tennis knowledge.
I got you.
Okay, so I just want to try out the 3 what's it called, swings?
Yeah.
This is the closest
So-
I've ever gotten to tennis is like badminton. So
Yeah, you're
it's,
gonna
like,
need to
similar.
walk us through it. So what's
are
this called?
you-
For, I'm right-handed.
Okay. You want to put your
Oh,
hand
on the bottom,
low.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
lower
what was
down.
her method?
Like go down the racket. Yeah, like that. Or like so. Can I see your hand? You put your hand like this, and then you go down, and then grip it, and then that's a forehand.
Oh.
even the way that the angle of how you hold your racket also affects the way you hit the ball, right, Sister Ia?
Yeah.
So how do we?
So
How do
you
you
go back, just like, yeah, and then swing up.
So there's footwork too.
and then catch it
Like
over.
bowling?
Yeah.
Oh, watch out.
Is that right? Swing
Yeah.
into it, and then you
Mhm.
catch it with your other
Yeah,
hand?
yeah. Catch it with your other hand.
Okay.
Don't hit Nick.
Palo.
All right, let's try backhand. How does backhand work?
Okay, so backhand, put your left hand on top, and then
Left hand on top.
start the bottom. It's not,
Oh,
and then you go up.
The
With two
golf
hands?
swing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like that.
The golf swing.
And then slice.
Oh.
How do you slice?
You're so eager.
Slice. I
Oh.
know. How do you slice?
For forehand, you would go like at it. You would kind of go at an angle, and I like bend my knees a bit so I can get under the ball. Okay. I would bend my knees and then go under the ball, and then put my like kind of go like yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're throwing a frisbee kind of.
Oh, I don't know how that happened. What happened?
Yeah, like
Okay.
that. You wouldn't go flat, but you go more of a like
Angle.
a really sharp angle.
Oh,
yeah.
at an angle, like
Yeah,
downward
yeah.
angle
Yeah,
or upward
downward.
angle?
Downward.
Yeah. Okay. What's something
Slice.
that I always wondered about when it comes to serving is like how do you
Oh, we
throw
didn't
the
get
ball?
to serve. Yeah.
Like when you throw the ball in the beginning.
I actually do have a ball.
Oh, she has a
Oh.
ball. Okay, wait.
Perfect.
Okay. How would you throw it? Like
Like you would, what my coach said was you take 3 hands and you throw it, and you don't want your ball to spin at all, so that so it doesn't like move like wherever. But I'm still struggling on serving, so you basically just throw it as high as you can, but also kind of going over your shoulder a bit.
so you step and then you follow through, or
So,
Oh,
wait,
here.
can I see
Yeah,
her?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So basically, you would like, so let's say I'm gonna serve. I'm gonna go like this, and then you throw it up, and then I go over, scratch your back.
Oh, she's gonna hit me. Wait,
No, I'm not.
I'm scared.
You scratch your back, and then you throw your arm over you, and then you just follow through.
Oh.
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of volleyball serving too.
Yeah, basically.
Interesting.
Usually I jump into it, so I go like, let's say 3/4 out of the court, and then once I throw, I put my feet together, and then I jump, and then I hit it.
Okay.
So that you can get a bit more
More
power.
power. How do you serve?
Oh, not so technical. Just I basically I just want the ball to hit at the right spot on the other side.
I was
so.
like, do you serve with both hands too?
No, just one. Just one.
We have a question from our live audience.
Oh, okay.
How
Okay.
do you know after you throw it, when's the right time to hit it down?
Oh, that's actually a
For
good
serving. For serving.
Think
Um,
about-
For like when you know when to hit it is when as far as you can reach. Like how far. Oh, I got you. Like, like, let's say I'm throwing it. You want to throw it higher than you, but then you want to also hit it as far as you can stretch your arm. So then, oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
But you want to kind of aim for it to hit in the middle.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
And you mentioned when you throw the ball up, you don't want it to move, right?
Yeah, you
But
don't
that's like the only instance where it shouldn't move, right?
Yeah.
When you're serving, or no, when you're like receiving, it'll like
Yeah,
like
it'll
when
do
you're
whatever.
slicing, it'll.
Yeah.
So it's just when you
You
serve,
serve.
it's okay.
So you have more control.
Isn't there like is there how does that work? I know there's a certain rule after the serve, it has to bounce, doesn't it, before you hit it, or can you hit it straight after a serve?
Usually, when someone's serving, you would be back. You have to receive it. Like it has to bounce. Yeah.
After the first serve.
Yeah.
But when when you're doing the rally already, then you can do the
The volley.
volley. Yeah.
And what would you say is the difference between playing tennis just one-on-one versus having doubles? So having a partner to play with.
There's some differences where there's certain lines when it's a singles game. The lines that are inner, that's where your ball should land, because there's two lines. When it's a double, it's a bigger, you have a bigger space for the ball to hit,
Right.
because that's another part of the sport where if it lands where it's outside the line, obviously it's out. So
Mm-hmm.
and when it's a singles, obviously you don't have another partner to help chase the ball. So you're going to be the one doing all the running and everything. So
Right, extra workout right there.
yes.
You mentioned, when, determining like whether the ball is in or out. I feel like, when we watch like tennis matches on TV, like they'll always show that replay with the like shadow ball, and it'll show like if it's in or out. That always confused me
Shadow
because
ball.
it would show. I'll just ask you, like, what is the real like rule? Like, does it have to be on the line or is it
To be
not
inside
inside?
the line,
Yeah,
does
yeah,
it
yeah.
touch the line.
As long as it's touching the line, they'll count it as in.
As in,
But
okay.
if it doesn't, then they'll count it as out.
Oh, okay.
I see. Okay,
And that automatically is a point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see. But you know what I'm talking about, though, right? The
Yes,
shadow
yes,
ball.
yes.
Okay, so I think we have enough knowledge now, basic knowledge on tennis as a game and the techniques and the sport itself. So let's ask a little bit more about specifically our guests. So how did you first get into tennis?
Me growing up in the Philippines, my dad played tennis day and night. My mom also learned, and then my brother also. So that kind of me got into it because of them. And we were where I grew up. There's basically a tennis court in front of our house.
Mm.
So so I wanted to play with my family. I wanted to play with my neighbors. So and in the Philippines it's normally hot. So we usually play like at night. There's lights. So we play all night. And that's how I learned, just watching them, and some of them were just kind of telling me ways of how to hold the racket. I never really got formal training, but I just really played for fun.
Mm. Nice.
Shout out brother Nair Legaspi from Buena Park, my grandpa, her dad.
Yeah, my dad is a tennis enthusiast. Yes.
You should bring him on next time.
Yes.
And what about you, Sister Ia?
I first got into tennis freshman year because there were no cuts in tennis back then. So I just wanted to join because I didn't want to do PE. But then all of a sudden I started to get really into it because I wanted to like actually start on tennis, and I kept practicing with my dad and with my friends, and then eventually I got really committed. Like I was locked in, and it just kept going. And I played all 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And she's really good.
Nice.
She's really good.
I was on starting JV singles 1, and then varsity singles 3 starting.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so for our viewers, I think we can expect both our sisters to show up on the upcoming Australian Open or whatever it's called, or Wimbledon. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, thank you, for sharing with us how you kind of got into the sport of tennis. It's kind of the great thing about sports. You meet new people, like you were able to bond with your friends and your family back in the Philippines. Actually, you reminded me, my Lolo, my grandfather, he is really into tennis too, and he lives in the Philippines right now. And he kind of does the same thing, but he wakes up at like 4 or 5 a.m., kind of the same thing, to beat the heat, so he can play with his friends on the tennis court. So yeah, it's I guess over there it's just a matter of being smart of when you play, because you don't want to be playing in the middle of the day when
Yes,
it's like
it's
super
really
super
hot.
hot.
Get a tan
Yeah.
that way.
Mhm.
So one last question before we kind of start wrapping up. What makes tennis so exciting for you? What is your favorite part about it?
You kind of mentioned it. Now, I didn't play tennis for a long time, but now that I started playing again, then I got to play with. I got to find out who else is playing tennis, not just in this locale, but other locales. So sometimes we just have this group chat, and then we're booking this tennis court. Let's meet up, and that's how I got to meet other brethren from even other locales, even from Riverside, and so It's really fun. It, you can also feel the camaraderie there.
Mhm.
It's so fun to just to also like not just do the rally, but also we're kind of like bantering with each other, but
Yeah,
more
like friendly
in
competition.
friendly
Yeah.
competition.
Mhm.
But it's really all for fun, and it's a good workout. It's a good, like Sister Ia mentioned a lot earlier, for mental health, because you really need a lot of focus, and you
Mhm.
also have to kind of plan where to hit the ball to make it harder for the opponent.
The mind game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's also a mind game where
Mhm.
you want to hit the ball, where they're
Right.
gonna kind of struggle to get the ball. But um, I like the sport too because it really is a good stress reliever, especially when you have that sweet spot and you want to just hit that ball hard, and it lands where you want it to land, and it's I think it's a really good sport.
Release of tension. There
Yes.
you go.
Yeah.
And what about you, Sister? Yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoy when I get like those good hits. Like it makes that noise every
Yeah.
time.
Satisfying.
There's a
Yeah,
strategy.
it's really satisfying. And then also like just improving my skills. Like I can see the improvement every time I play like a match, which really like hypes me up, gets me like motivated to keep playing.
Mhm.
And then also like you know, because sometimes I would play opponents who are like they're kind of mean towards me.
Mhm.
And then like let's say I win, it just like I was like, oh, okay.
There
Like
you go. Her
And
favorite
it-
part is winning.
yeah, but yeah, that's what gets me really excited, and also like just cheering all my friends.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's nice.
That's really the beauty of not just tennis but sports. Like I mentioned before, you get the benefit of physical exercise, and you also keeping your mental healthy, and it's just fun to bond with brethren and with your friends. So yeah, I mean, we hope you learned as much as me and Sister Jaden did about the sport of tennis. Before we wrap up today's broadcast, we did want to shout out some upcoming activities for our district. On April 27th, we do have a CFO day. And then along with that, I believe this month is also one of our local congregations. The local congregation of Lakewood is celebrating their 9th anniversary. And we actually have a few
We
brethren
actually
from
have
from
some Lakewood brethren supporting us
In
in
our
our
live-
live audience
live
today.
audience.
So thank
Yes.
you so much
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
for always coming up, driving the distance just to see us perform. We appreciate it.
And shout out again to our guests. Thank you so much for coming and enlightening us on the sport of tennis.
Oh, any last minute shout outs you'd like to give before we go ahead and wrap this out?
Wanted to give a shout out to my husband, brother Jay Carlos, and my son, brother Brendan. They're also good tennis players. And a shout out to brother Brian, brother Brian and sister Christine Anisieten. They're from the locale of AmSam, American Samoa.
Wow!
Shout out to them.
Yay! And so, Sister, yeah?
No, I'm kidding.
No shout out. It's okay. All right, Brother Nathan?
So we have a few special thanks that we want to give out, right,
Okay.
Sister Jaden?
All right, so we would just like to thank, as always, our brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister, brother Angelo Aranyo Manalo, our CFO coordinator and CEBSI CEO, brother Wally Taray, our station manager, brother Hansel F. De Dios, our district minister, brother Andres Nicolas Jr., our district CFO overseer, brother Emmanuel Andaya, our executive producer. Thank you, Kamanli. And finally, last but not least, as always, our INC radio techs. Thank you so much for putting in all the work behind the scenes. And that, I think, wraps everything up for us. Thank you so much. Be sure to stay tuned in for INC Radio San Diego.
Bless you.